To the top right, down one map, we have the FXO player. It is the one and only
FXO Reno.
Yeah, the Linux was actually an endangered species, only one of its kind.
Yeah, very close relative to the Kraken though.
Yes.
And the bottom left, we have the boss toss. Starting for SK Gaming. It is
SKMC.
Is he giving us a hand gesture there?
Nah, not really.
I don't think so.
SK Gaming meant Schrittkommando. Now they just use the tag, just the abbreviation. A little bit like no one actually uses Team SCV Live, they only use TSL. The same is true for MTW. It's not Mortal Teamwork anymore, no.
You know, somewhat, IM may fall down that path one day. People still call it Incredible Miracle from time to time, but it's kind of fallen out of style. This is the way of things, man.
After yesterday and we came up with this one idea, I so want to see I'm Angry. I actually consider starting a pro gamer career, renaming myself into Angry and joining IM for one day and then stopping. One televised match, that's all I ask for. I want to have I am Angry in one game and completely crushing his opponent. Or losing and raging. That would work too.
That actually... Or if you're behind, you just make a bunch of faces and then come back and win. Everybody knows how angry you are. Oh, I thought the probe there for a second was helping out with the neutral depot. Probes aren't known to do that.
You see that MC just with a scratch at the head, he's like, what was that? But well, the probe not able to block the hatch, and therefore Linux with a very early hatchery doesn't have to use slings or whatever. But let's see what exactly is going on this map right now. We have the expansion for MC, and what is he going to do? 2-base timing, all the traditional 3 bases on this map, whereas Linux, of course, now has a choice as well.
This is a good map for Protoss, statistically speaking, and a lot of Zerg players do not feel comfortable on this map because, like we saw on Ohana, very easy to hold the 3rd base.
Yeah.
Even if you're aggressive off of 2 bases on this map, you can fall back to that 3rd relatively easily.
It's just a different style for Protoss that this map allows, which is why most of the Protoss players choose this map when they are up against a Zerg player, if they have the opportunity to choose. You can defend your 3 bases so easily and can just take the 3rd base very, very early. And the thing is, with the additional gas, Protoss can open up so many additional tech trees that is just awesome and allows them a great variety of strategies. So it's also, the 4th is so easy to take as well. Once you have the 3rd base and you just get your army ready and everything, you can just push out this pit to the right, starting at MC's position in the bottom left, take the 4th and still be able to defend fairly well. So it's a great position here.
Yeah, and Linux is not going to hesitate taking his 3rd base. Not going to do some of his trademark Linux shenanigans off of 2 base. And how will MC move forward here? As soon as I ask the question, MC gives the answer. +1 is started at the Forge, and this means that the attack follow-up here could be similar to what we saw last game. This type of sentry play on this map is not as effective. More likely we will see a more regular ground-based timing attack, if at all. Nice scout.
Yeah, the scout sees everything. And Linux, of course, now with the 3rd base here, which was just spotted, it is as good as ready. Still chewing to the bottom right, left. And the thing about Linux is at this point, if MC falls back to 3 bases, Linux will be able to get as many bases as he wants, basically. But he is up against a great army later on in the game. He's up against an army that will have upgrades, will be heavily upgraded, and also, of course, the Mothership also an option for MC. So Linux, yes, will control the game in the early stages of the game, but then later on, it's going to be very scary for him. And he's probably going to use Brood Lords, because on this maps, Ultralisk are a little bit of a stretch, especially against Protoss. It's not unheard of, but you have to get your opponent in the middle of the map, catch him off guard if you really want to make a Brood Lord work, because of the surface area. So, will we see this late game, or is MC going for some kind of 2-base timing attack?
Or even a 3-base timing attack, you know, like Niden has shown in the past, Seed as well. That's something that we basically saw last game, attacking before the Broodlords are done. That's something that happens. Robo is on the way, Stalker on the way out. Stalker and Zerling with the same movement speed off creep, so he should be able to get home here. If he doesn't make any detours or goes sightseeing, he should be okay.
I don't actually know if Entomb Valley is the best place to go sightseeing. I would personally recommend Australia. Australia is awesome. There are so many great places. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
I want to see Ayers Rock actually at some point. Were you able to see this?
Yeah, of course. That was one of the things that I saw. It's impressive, but there are other places in Australia that I personally enjoyed more. Kings Canyon was great. Loved it. There are a lot of places in Flinders Range where like great lookout places that are really breathtaking. But Ayers Rock is nice.
I want to ask you as well, I have a question. How long would it take to fly from one edge of Australia to the other? Do you know that? The answer to that? I'm kind of curious.
Well, I never really flew from the east to the west. I only flew from the south to the north. I think east-west is probably like 5 hours.
Okay.
4 hours, 5 hours. But I'm guessing here because I never really did it. I only flew like horizontal.
Well, WCS Australia, by the way, for those people who are interested in following all sorts of WCS outside of Korea, is going to go on this weekend. So make sure to tune into that. Help follow this worldwide. It's a global tournament. That's what's so awesome about it.
Yep, it's going to be great. A lot of Zerg players, by the way, in Australia.
Yes.
Doing really well. Of course, Moonblade, the most popular, the most well-known Zerg player out there in Australia.
I've had the opportunity to meet him out here in Korea. Great player.
Ro32 player. Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
I met him for the first time, I think 2008. WCG. That was in Germany.
Well, MC is moving out with just a few units on the map. He needs to pull these back. He'll see the road just come across with the watchtower. And right now, Lenok sees that the rocks have been destroyed. He sees that the army is headed towards the third base, so he knows that MC's planning on taking a third here.
And MC is definitely going to take his third now. At this point, with all the harvesters that he has, he's at 58 harvesters. So you can see that the Nexus is being built as we speak. And for Lenok, this means that we are heading into a long game. We are heading to a game where Lenok will very soon take his fourth base, most likely his fifth base as well. Will prepare all his tech, play a really economy-heavy game, and then just build spine crawlers, and a few spine crawlers.
And some more spine crawlers.
Yeah, and a couple of spine crawlers. So that MC cannot move out and just crush him before the Broodlords are in the picture.
Yeah, we saw him last game try to get those up, but he wasn't quite able to hold the attack because of his supply deficit.
There's a fourth, by the way. Of course, immediately being scouted by MC. MC knows exactly what he has to look for here. It's not a secret how this map is playing out. And the fifth base, as mentioned, double expand.
Oh, that's really cool. That's kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. And Lenok is posturing with some forces, ready to do a counterattack. He has the watchtower, so as soon as he possibly sees MC move into the watchtower range. Oh,
by the way, I just got a confirmation that my 4-hour estimate from east to the west was correct.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. That kind of gives me an idea, because obviously you can see on a map geographically how big Australia is, but I just wanted to give it a different term in my mind.
I think someone measured out how often Germany would fit into Australia, and it was some ridiculous number. I don't know if it was 13 or 17, but something along those lines. Is just insane. And we have more people in Germany than there are people living in Australia. If you think about this, it's just insane. But of course, with the desert in the middle.
Yeah. Well, population density, or lack thereof, in Australia can be interesting to think about. The Baneling Nest is coming down for Lenok. No drops, though.
We actually have a couple of Mutalisks. Ah, okay. At first, 2 Mutalisks, and it was like 2 Mutalisks. Okay, this seems like a very low number. What is he going to do with it? Defend against drop play, and then he starts additional 10. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Apparently, supply blocked here. That's why he had to wait a little bit. And Mutalisks are pretty cool. I haven't seen Mutalisks for a long time on this map. Most Zerg players don't get them anymore because on 3 bases, the Protoss is bound to have Blink ready.
When you add this small group of Mutalisks in, it can be quite scary. He forces a cancel actually on the Nexus to the south. Those 2 Mutas you were talking about earlier are actually making their debut. They're a duo actually. And they now have become a trio as the third one joins them. A lot of pressure here, though, taking out the pylon. Lenok using his army very well. And this is a much better position for Lenok this game than on the previous game on Ohana.
The Stargate was completed, right? He didn't cancel this.
Right.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so he can start with this. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Moving in, trying to go for a snipe. Realize that there's a little bit too much for his opponent and moves back again. But yeah, the Stargate gives him the option to go for the 3 peak now and prepare for the Broodlord composition, but then he spotted those Mutalisks. Here comes the 4th once again.
MC has had to cancel his Nexus several times, and this starts to add up, not only in the resources lost with the cancel, but also just simply with all the time he's lost, all the mining time. And Leenock is on the attack again. He may be able to pick off the Forge here as MC way out of position again.
This is a very Mutalisk heavy army composition, and he's moving in. Boom! Snipes the two or three buildings, kills a few Stalkers. Great position here for him to be in. He needs to move out in time, but this is actually looking so good. He just needs to kill Stalkers, and that's something that he does really well.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of it. His Mutalisk count right now at 22, and he's killed so many of the Stalkers. There's only 6 left.
There's basically nothing. He doesn't have anti-air. This is great for Leenock.
Yeah, this may just end the game. I mean, not literally. He's not going to have to GG here, but the composition for MC is just going to be so lopsided, and Leenock's just going to keep making mutas.
To be honest with you, he could have fought here. He could have taken down the 2 remaining Stalkers. The problem for Leenock is not the army that he just faced. The problem is the warp in, the next swap in. But if he could have killed so many sentries and traded fairly well against this. And look at how he's preparing for an Ultralisk transition. In this scenario, I like the Ultralisk a lot more. I talked about the Ultralisk against Broodlords earlier. But if you force your opponent to prepare for such a high Mutalisk count and then switch it up with an Ultralisk composition, that's something he's probably not prepared for.
And this base is going to be hard pressed to hold. With all the Colossi here, he will be able to clean up the ground army. Mutas go back, but a lot of damage done already, and he's going to get out with basically everything. With the Ultralisk, though, I'd like to see investors coming through. That's something he has not built, and as far as I know, I don't think he got the Pathogen Gland upgrade either, so that's something he is going to have to start thinking about. No, he does have Pathogen Glands, my mistake.
That's right, he needs investors. The problem is just like Stalkers are, of course, Stalkers are as good as dead as when they face Ultralisks, but only if they are fungals. If there are no fungals, he's fighting. He knows he has the superior count, he's fighting, he has the upgrades as well, he's going in. MC might as well lose this. This is so awesome. Leenock has the superior numbers now, and he's putting them to some good use. He's bouncing between the bases. A lot of these Stalkers can't do anything at all. He's moving in. He's sniping Harvesters. He's doing so much damage. Leenock already killed 10 Harvesters with this attack.
Oh, I thought he might actually stop the production on the Mothership, but yeah, you're right. He's doing so much damage. He's going to pick off these cannons here as well as the pylon that's making at the 4th.
It's just so much damage.
He blinked. A misblink means that only a few Stalkers are going to be near the Muse, so he's going to pick more of those off. And now he can go for the Nexus snipe if he wants to. I don't think he'll commit to it. He doesn't know exactly where the Stalkers are. But he's just bouncing back and forth like a yo-yo.
He is bouncing back and forth indeed, but he's making sure that MC is now getting a lot of Stalkers. And Stalkers do also extra damage against Ultralisk, and this is a bit of a problem. As against the focus fire and good blinks, Ultralisks will die very fast. He needs Fungal if he wants to make this work. Of course, he can always pressure him like back and just trying to take down the 4th base, but if he really wants to kill the army, this is what he basically has to do.
Yeah, he's making 1 Infestor right now. Part of the problem for Leenock, of course, is that he's maxed, so he can't make Infestors until he loses units. So he loses a few mutas, makes 2 more Infestors.
He needs to build a couple of Spine Crawlers to get rid of his worker supply. At least at some point, as soon as he really wants to commit to this, because right now he has 91.
Well, this is going to be a big engagement. Leenock coming in here with Banelings. There's a lot of probes going to transfer at the worst possible time. Oh, wow. There's so many probes in the main to die. Oh,
he's not only going to lose probes. If he loses the Stargate, this would be so important in regards to tech loss. But he wants to kill the cannons so they can move again.
Not the best trade here, but it doesn't matter with all the bank he has. He's making 6 more Infestors, 4 Ultras on the way. He's getting a 6th base.
He's trading fairly even, and he has way more bases than MC, so this is not too shabby. The play that he uses here is just great, and he still has 26 lava available. He has 88 drones. Leenock is playing a much better game than in the last game.
Yeah, he's just been allowed to have those bases. MC not able to move out. He's kind of been always on the defensive because of the mutas. A great choice by Leenock on this map. It's working out really well. He's getting +3. Yeah, those mutas right now.
But still, MC has good upgrades. He's going now for the Twilight. Sorry, not only the Twilight Counts. He of course has the Twilight Counts for quite a while now. He's going for the Templar Archive. So Leenock at some point has to just assemble the army composition that he wants to use to crush the forces of MC. Because overrunning him is not going to be easy. And now the Mothership is out. It has enough energy for Vortex. We have a lot of minerals banked up for MC. He's using everything that he has. But he's about to make maxed out as well. And later on, especially against Storm, a lot of these units that Leenock is using right now will be redundant.
You're right. Also, he canceled the +3 for his Mutas. I really like that. Ultralisk get Vortex here, and this means that when they pop out, they're going to be able to be killed by these Immortals and Archons very quickly, but this is not as useful as it is against Broodlords.
He needs to time this perfectly now.
Yeah, he really does, and here we go.
Leenock going in, what a timing, the Banelings, they detonate, but now, of course, the Colossi is already dead. Leenock dropped in supply with 50 supply immediately. Once again, this map deserves its nickname. Vortex Valley is true once more. This Vortex definitely brought MC back into the picture. Well, not really back into the picture because he was not that far behind, but it was a huge win for him.
Yeah, a huge win, and now Leenock is already kind of completed his transition into the Greater Spire. It's finishing up now. But the Mothership is still here, still regaining energy. It's at 63 right now. And MC, you know, the one thing he will have to start thinking about is, well, eventually I got to attack this guy. I can defend wave after wave, but at some point I will have to attack him because his economy is insane.
Right now, with all the economy that he had, a Greater Spire would have been nice. An additional attack switch would have been great. He's making those run-bys work, though. He has really great run-by micro here, doing a lot of damage every single time. His decision-making with his unit control is great, but MC is moving out right now. He's on the offensive. The base is going to die. This is the third, but MC is already taking another one. And now will we have the Fungals so that the Ultras can connect and the Banelings. MC is not paying attention to his army!
No, he could have done so much more here.
He didn't do anything with his army. Oh my god.
He wastes the Mothership's Vortex with the Neural Parasite. And yeah, he can put the Archons in there all he wants, but there's very few of them, and the Ultras are just not going to care.
MC was busy microing against the Lings and Mutalisk, and therefore he did not pay attention to his main army. Those Banelings should have never connected. One feedback, that's all the High Templar is able to do, and now suddenly the Mothership is helpless against the Mutalisks.
Yeah, it's moving shot, and it's not being targeted with this, so he only kills one Muta. Oh, second one does die.
Yeah, but the Mothership dies as well.
Yeah, much more importantly, the Mothership is dead.
Leenock has to be careful though. That's a Stalker too. 25 total.
Yeah. He killed the Mothership, and the Stalker count is, I think, less important than the Archons at this point as well.
You know, when you're a Zerg player and you have no Fungals available, and your opponent has like really well upgraded Stalkers, it is the most hateful unit in the entire game. You can have the best army on the planet. If your opponent has a decent Stalker micro, he can do so much damage. Leenock needs Infestors. He has a few. He's getting more. He's about to be maxed out. He needs those Fungals. Even with 4 Infestors, he can make this work, no problem, but he needs the Fungals. If he can connect with the Banelings or with the Ultralisks, the Stalkers are going to explode, but Stalkers can be quite... They can decide a game without a problem at all.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's one thing splitting against Banelings with Marines, but with Stalkers you actually can blink as well. Nice premature storms here, just making sure that Leenock cannot get up that ramp. This is an awkward position for Leenock. This is why a lot of players don't like to use Ultralisk at all. And yeah, you can hit those Archons with Banelings, but that's not cost efficient. The Fungals are good though. The Stalkers cannot move.
The Fungals are really good, and Leenock moves in. He's trying to take this down. The Banelings, most of them died to the Storms, but a few connected, and now the Ultralisks are closing the distance, taking down MC Stalkers one by one. The Ultralisks doing the extra damage.
He should pull back though.
And yes, he's transitioning now. Look at what he's building. He's building 7 additional Ultralisks, and of course also getting a few more Infestors. He still has the better mining, and this is important. But the problem that he is facing now is that there are a lot of very small gaps and ways on this map where he has to attack. Broodlords are a little bit better of attacking into these positions, but MC so far had trouble defending against the Ultralisk just because he was fungled, and then the Ultralisk got finally the surface area that they need to do the damage.
Yeah, those, I mean, we talked about it for, you know, we could talk about it for hours really, but I mean, there was like a perfect example of Fungals making the Ultralisk worth their while in that last fight, and this is something that Leenock, if he did not have those Fungals, he would actually probably be facing a counterattack and losing this game from MC attacking him right now. Look at the army supply. MC significantly down here, and he's down 50 supply in general. He just needs more time to rebuild his army. His economy is still decent, but since he lost so many units, he dropped below 100 supply. He needs more time to get more Stalkers out. He needs more Warpins, and Leenock's not going to give it to him. He wants to attack right now.
He wants to face him head on, go for it. And here we go with the Infested Terrans. He's leading the charge. He needs a few bundles. Yes, here come the Storms to take down those low HP units. The Ultralisk on the move. The Archon's about to die. Still a 60 supply lead for Linok. MC is in trouble now. Linok gets out with those infestors. Very important. Tries to save the Ultralisks.
The Infested Terran's so important at saving the Ultras, so at least for now, he's not going to run away with them. I think running away and using some transfuses would have been more cost efficient, but either way, he's still trying to make them work. Nice micro by MC.
Yeah, but it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. He's going to lose his probes here, and he's starting to lose this game.
He's down now to 98 supply. Ultralisk, Burrow.
All three of them almost dead. This is so important. Wow.
There's one observer on the map, Wolf. Only one.
It's way far away. There he is.
Of course he's moving back right now, but this is awesome. I haven't seen this in a while.
Yeah, neither have I.
The last time I've seen it, this was actually Ultralisk making sure, blocking Nexus.
That's always the funniest way to do it. This Ultralisk is going to be... Did the Mothership kill it? That was actually hard to say. Who killed the Ultralisk? No, it wasn't the Mothership.
And here are the Broodlords. The Broodlord transition, and this is about time. Tigers would be proud.
5 more energy on the Mothership is what he needs.
Hell, it's about time.
Yeah. No Archons, and he knurls the Mothership. He's going to waste the Vortex again, and there he does it.
Well done by Linok, doubling MC supply, moving the Mothership on top of all those infested Terrans, and it is gone. Adios, amigo.
Well, there's not much MC can do now. He's still mining from his bases, but again, he loses his army. He cannot rebuild it as quickly as Linok can.
Not as many Broodlords as he would love to have, but they are enough.
Yep. And even if he kills this one at the front,
look at this infestor count. Freaky would be proud. 33. GG. What a game. Pretty cool. Half an hour long. MC against Linok. A great match here.